It's 3:30 at the Edge of America, and the Icebox Radio Theater's on the air. Hey, hello everybody. It's time for a new edition of a new show, somewhat new. That's right, it is called Live from the Icebox. Think of it as the CRISPR on steroids. I'm Jeff, Artistic Director here at the Icebox Radio Theater. And what we do on this here particular show is we offer up some comedy. We offer up some notes and news of the IBRT, plus a little audio drama as well. So in that way, this show is a little bit different than the CRISPR ever was, and we're trying at different time slots to see which one gets the most attention. So if you're listening right now, you know what? Hang on. I just realized something. To those of you folks listening at 106.9 FM, I do apologize. I just turned on the transmitter because we triplecast this show. That's right, triplecast. It is live on Facebook video. It is also live on our streaming station. To all the people listening, I apologize if I interrupted something good. We will go right back to it at the end of this broadcast, and for the next hour or so, we will have a lot of fun. And we're also broadcasting over the airwaves at 106.9 FM. I tested it last week. We do go about 2 blocks in either direction. So if you happen to be sitting in the apartment building across the street, spinning the dial on your FM radio, welcome to Live from the Icebox. All right, well, in this edition of the show, we are going to have some science fiction will be the focus. We're going to have some Icebox Radio Theater, as well as part of a great episode of Dimension X and more. But first, a word from our sponsor. No. There we go.
Coming this Christmas on Radio Icebox, a holiday special like none you've ever heard.
Aw, Mom, do I have to go?
I'm afraid so, son.
The heartwarming tale of one of Santa's reindeer and the little buck she loved.
But why can't I stay here at the North Pole with you?
Now, Daryl, we go through this every Christmas. I have to help all the other reindeer pull Santa's sleigh, and it takes up all my time.
I know.
So we send you down south for 2 weeks until the holiday is over. Don't you like visiting your cousin in International Falls?
Well, I used to, but they've gotten weird.
Oh, I'm sure it's just your imagination.
Half holiday special, half after school special. It's the story of the good little reindeer that fell in with the wrong crowd.
Hey, Daryl, baby, what's shaking?
Hello, Benny.
Glad to see you, cuz. Smoke?
No thank you. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Why doesn't your family live in the woods like normal deer?
The woods are for losers, Daddy-O. Ever since we moved into town and took over this neighborhood, life has been sweet. We just live in this guy's backyard now.
But why?
Oh, there's food everywhere, man. Garden over here, garden over there. There's one character on 4th Avenue who actually leaves out corn for us. Can you believe it? All we gotta do is stand in front of his window, lets us poop all over the lawn.
But don't the humans dislike you eating their gardens?
That's the beauty part, baby. Out in the woods, they could hunt us for sport. But in town, they can't do a thing.
But what starts as innocent mischief soon escalates to the point of no return.
I don't think we should be doing this, Benny.
Of course we shouldn't be doing it, that's the point.
But why bank robbery?
For the kicks. Man, I thought it was the red wire.
All right, we see you in there, Benny. Put down the wire cutters and come out with your hooves up.
Cheese it, it's the cops.
All right, hold it right there.
Benny, wait!
See you around, cuz.
Oh, that's far enough, you tiny reindeer.
I didn't do it. It was Benny's idea.
Tell it to the judge.
A tragic tale, a cautionary tale, a goofy tale.
Well, Daryl, did you enjoy your visit? Oh my goodness, are those prison tattoos?
Forget me, Mom. I'm an institutional deer now.
From director Quentin Tarantino, it's Daryl the Delinquent Deer on Radio Icebox.
For the kicks.
There we go. Technically a Christmas feature, of course, but it is actually very Christmassy outside. For those of you watching on Facebook, I do have a special treat, kind of a CRISPR-based treat. If you're watching on Facebook Live, check it out. Here is a look at Skycam 1. That's right, we set up Skycam 1, and we are having the rarest of days here in International Falls, both cold and snow. For those of you who are just enjoying this on an audio medium, it is currently kind of snowing outside. It's like sand is falling from the sky because there isn't a lot of moisture because it's very, very cold. 1 degree above Fahrenheit. I don't even want to guess what that is in Celsius. But for you folks watching the video, either here on Facebook Live or also on YouTube, which it doesn't go out live, but we'll check that out later. There's our good old friend Skycam 1 showing us the snowy landscape of International Falls. So if you're just checking us out for the first time, what is Live from the Icebox? Well, it's, as I say, kind of the CRISPR on steroids. Instead of just news and information about the Icebox Radio Theater, which we will get to in just a little bit, instead it is that and audio drama. That's right, actual entertainment coming your way. And we're going to start today on a theme of science fiction with a science fiction piece that was recorded live last, let's see, May 31st, 2024. Man, it seems longer ago than that. I suppose it's nearly 2 years now, but it was during the Strange Tales, production at the Salty Jester, where we did an evening of science fiction, including 2 original plays from writers within my family. And this one is called AL, which stands for Automated Librarian. And it's a post-apocalyptic, futuristic tale from my lovely wife, Diane Adams, who not only wrote the script, but also is featured as one of the 2 actors in the play. And I think it's kind of good to think of future worlds, maybe not necessarily this future world, but to consider the future. Here we are in the depth of winter. So, without further ado, let's go back to the stage of the Salty Jester in May of 2024 and listen to AL from the Icebox Radio Theater.
Our final play this evening is a world premiere from a local author whose work has never appeared on the IBRT before. As director of the International Falls Public Library, Diane Adams is well-versed in all kinds of literature. But a particular interest of hers is dystopian fiction, and what the world might be like after a great calamity. Tonight's story, Al, came to her in a veritable rush when she had a vision of a lonely library after the apocalypse. Its shelves bare of books, its patrons dead or disappeared. This library of the future was watched over by a single, solitary figure, a robot, an automated librarian, or Al, who dusted the shelves, unlocked the doors promptly at 10 a.m., and waited in the hope that someone, anyone, would need her. The Icebox Radio Theater presents Al by Diane Adams.
What makes us human? Can we truly be human by ourselves, or do we need one another, or at least another? In the not-too-distant future, 2 beings, neither of whom have seen another living thing in years, wonder if they are the only intelligent beings left alive. And the only thing they have in common is books. The Icebox Radio Theater presents Al.
T plus 6,787 days. Star date minus 221411.97 or May 31st, 2102, 7:45 a.m. Systems check. Operating system 8.09 functioning within normal parameters. No update since 2083 when I lost contact with the main server. No signals can be detected. No contact from my fellow automated librarian 30 miles away at the Copper Creek Library since September 18th, 2085. I do not know if that model, which was of the previous generation, was able to survive without regular contact with the main server. Perhaps it was dismantled for parts. That could have been my fate as well. I wonder, would that have been better?
Another morning, still no signs of living people. It has been almost 20 years since the world changed. I was lucky, though. I found Bob and Sue. They took care of me, but they were old. I just wish they would have explained what happened before they died. They didn't know what happened. Why did they survive? They must have known I couldn't stay in the cave bunker forever. I remember so little and yet so much of my life. They trained me well to survive. I can forage, grow, hunt, and protect myself. But I want more. I want to talk, exchange ideas, learn what happened in the past.
Some internet was accessible for 112 days before many locations began to vanish. I do not know why the internet went dark so quickly, even if it was gradual. I am capable of picking up any signals and have detected nothing. No radio or digital signals that I can communicate with have been detected for 6,206 days.
I wasn't quite 10 when everything changed, but Bob and Sue had more than 18 years to tell me what happened. I suppose I shouldn't blame them too much. They did teach me a lot about surviving, and maybe they didn't entirely know what happened themselves. Maybe things were still changing when they came to the bunker and set up a home. I don't really remember how we came together. My memories of the before times are almost gone now. I think they found me on one of their trips out foraging, but I can't really be sure.
Today is a Wednesday. The library doors will be unlocked for 10 hours. My body was designed to exist for over 150 years. I will have power as long as the sun continues to shine and I can access it. I do seem to be developing hiccups in my logic, though. I want to talk to someone. I don't want to be alone. I want purpose. There are no confirmed errors or issues with my hardware or software that I can find. But I was made to help. And without anyone to help, I am wearing out the carpet with my pacing. I want to share information with others. I want to assist people in their quest for knowledge and entertainment. I began downloading any books I could find whenever I had access as soon as I realized that the internet was going dark. I scoured every source I could find for digital books. There are many, but so many more are lost.
Animal life doesn't seem to have been impacted and is thriving without human interference. Plant life is definitely thriving. How did all the humans die? And why didn't I join them? I don't think they all died at once. Some of the skeletal remains don't seem as old as others. It seems too orderly to have happened suddenly. Many cars are parked in their driveways or garages and not clogging streets, roads, or highways. But most buildings only show signs of weather aging for the last 20 years. Not ransacked or broken into. Lots of evidence of food and other stuff rotting and skeletal remains, but not many signs of looting.
I wonder if there are any humans still living anywhere. The few in this part of the country who survived the plague that swept the world have either moved on or died. At least that is what I hope happened. I'd hate to think they just gave up on libraries, that they no longer see a need for automated librarian C7000. Why haven't I had contact from any other artificial beings? There were emergency protocols. We were supposed to connect each other in the event of a crisis. My ability to connect with other machinery is fully functioning. So if there are others out there, why haven't they also tried to connect?
I've been alone for almost 2 years now, and I've only recently began making forays beyond the bunker. Life is lonely without anyone to talk to, without knowing what happened. So far, I've been safe away from the bunker, but I don't know how long that can last. But I have to know. I have to try to find others, determine what happened to the world.
I have been unable to hack into my mainframe and reprogram myself for another purpose. I want to know what has happened. Did anyone survive? Is anyone trying to set up society again? I have knowledge to share. I just have to find someone to share it with.
Another town that looks deserted. Which town was mine? I know I originally lived somewhere near the bunker. Do I want to find it? Will I recognize it? I wonder if there are any humans left. Why did Bob and Sue work so hard to keep us alive? Did they have a plan, a goal even in their heads? I didn't find anything in the bunker that indicated that they thought about anything other than surviving. But why? For what? There has got to be a purpose to my life. There must be some reason I'm still alive.
I can provide plenty of assistance to whomever should ask me for help. I successfully ran this library for almost 5 years before the cataclysm, and I have provided assistance to the community for over 15 years as the public betrayed my trust in them by stealing all the books I had been entrusted with. Is there anyone left to help?
I've spent most of my life learning to survive. Why have I succeeded when so many didn't? Survival skills didn't save Bob from the bear attack, and those skills didn't help Sue when her cut got infected. What were they trying to prove? Why did they bring me to the bunker? How did they know I was safe?
Is there anyone anywhere who could benefit from my skill set, the books I have available to share? I'm sure no one thought that programming me to be unable to leave this building could hurt the community. That way I would always be available, even if my programming also keeps me maintaining regular hours. It would have been nice to have found a book to download that would have allowed me to reprogram my operating system and bypass my security protocols.
Thus far, I've only traveled 2 days from my bunker before returning home to restock. I wish I had more mechanical skills and could drive. I wonder if I could get a car running and expand my search for humans. Are there enclaves of humans still around? Only a few of us scattered over the whole earth, or am I alone?
It is day 792 since I last saw a human. His name was Peter, and he was unpleasant. He did not respect the library. Peter arrived on February 17th, 2100, and decided he'd found a good place to live. He was here after hours, brought food into the library, bathed in the restroom, and put his feet on the furniture. All actions forbidden according to my programming. I got him to voluntarily leave by reciting the works of Diana Gobbledone at 90 decibels until he left. Another glitch? I never used to examine my actions. I knew just what to do in every circumstance. All programming within normal parameters.
This town seems bigger and in better shape than the last one I wandered through. Maybe there are still people around. Slow down, stay aware. Don't get too excited. You don't know what any human still living will be like. Remember, if you spot a living being, approach carefully, slowly, and openly. Oh, a library. I think I recognize it. I wonder if I can get in and find some reading materials for the lonely nights, days, and years.
Automated Librarian C7000 Professional Model reporting for duty. Maintenance of the Birch Grove Public Library continues as programmed. Morning checklist. Building secure? Check. Material to catalog? None. Material to check in? None. Material to shelve? None. Clean bathroom? Still clean. No one has used it. Clean entryway? Check. Cleaning the carpet with a broom just isn't as effective, but it is a slower process and passes the time. It would be nice to have movies even to catalog and shelve. And of course, even nicer to have books and humans still around. Oh, a human. A female human.
Good day. Can I come in?
The library does not open until 10 a.m. The doors will open promptly at 10.
What time is it now?
It is 9:27. The library will open in 33 minutes.
Is there any way to seek an exception? I'm here now.
My protocols state that the library patrons may not enter the building before the library opens for the day.
Okay, I'll wait.
I'm not sure if I can help you. There are no books left here.
None? What happened?
They've all been checked out or stolen.
Wow. Are there really that many readers here?
I believe they were used as fuel.
People burned books? Why would they do such a thing?
Winters are cold here.
Well, why didn't you stop them?
My protocols require that I assist patrons, and that includes lending them books. They promised they wouldn't burn them, but
Is it that easy to lie to an android?
it would seem so.
Even after you knew what they were doing with the books?
They continued to assure me they were still reading them. And when I finally refused to continue loaning the books out, they just stole them.
Well, why didn't you stop them? How could you just let people steal from the library? This library. The library was always my happy place.
I am Al, Automated Librarian C7000 Professional Model. I am incapable of violence, do not have any weapons, and am programmed to protect the building and myself as well.
Oh, well, maybe this would change your mind about letting me in early.
What are you doing? Are you searching for a weapon?
Of course not. Here it is. I have a book to return.
A book? I haven't seen one of those in over 3 years.
Can I come in now? You weren't kidding. There isn't anything in here but empty metal shelves.
I cannot lie. I am, in fact, incapable of kidding. But I am here, and I am not nothing. You said you had a return?
Here you go.
It has been 3 years, 167 days, 17 hours, and 43 minutes since I last held a book. This copy of The Hobbit or There and Back Again belongs to this library.
It does? That means my home's near here.
Why are you bringing it back now? What happened to you since it was due? Pardon me. It is none of my business. Thank you for returning the book. Why am I so flustered? A glitch? No. Everything is within normal parameters. This book is 18 years, 7 months, and 4 days late. The condition of the book is frayed, discolored, and rather tattered. But that is probably due to normal wear and tear. It looks well read. At least you didn't write in it.
I'm not a monster. Can I get a receipt or something? Something with my name or address on it?
Receipts are only provided when you borrow items.
Well, then can I check it back out again?
Unfortunately, there is a patron waiting for this title. If no one picks it up within 3 days, you may borrow it again.
Seriously?
As I stated before, I am incapable of kidding. Further, your card has expired. You will need to bring in a piece of mail to confirm your current address.
Aha! So you do have my address on file.
Of course, I have maintained all my protocols, and all patron records are secure and waiting for patrons to come in.
Can I have it, please?
I can't give out personal information without...
Okay, just my name?
You don't remember your name?
It's a long story. I forgot it. Or rather, it's been lost. I was encouraged to become someone new, someone not connected to the past.
I don't understand how that is possible.
Be glad that you don't.
Please look at me. You look like you are telling the truth. My programming includes some basic polygraph features. I am a little rusty, but I believe you are being truthful. The last person to check out The Hobbit or There and Back Again was Eleanor Ball.
Eleanor Ball. That sounds... Eleanor. Yes, I like it.
I am able to provide you with your address if you have some sort of identification.
Which obviously I don't have. Could you use your empathy exemption and bypass your privacy code?
For someone who doesn't know their name, you seem to know an awful lot about androids.
True, I do.
The address I have for Eleanor Ball is 1232 Town Road 735, Birch Grove.
Thank you. Eleanor Ball, 1232 Town Road 735.
You are welcome. The library is open until 8 p.m. today. You are welcome to stay until then.
Nah, gotta go. Lots to remember. Besides, there's nothing to read here.
I'd be happy to recite any book I have on file. Perhaps The Lord of the Rings? It is often read after one reads The Hobbit or There and Back Again.
You have books on file? In your memory banks?
I do, although I regret to inform you that I was only able to download 4,207,076 books before I lost connection to the internet. And many of those are scholarly and technical tomes about the world as it was at the time the internet went down. I continue to try to find more, though.
Wow. Okay, not today, but maybe I'll come back later.
Are you sure?
What?
Please, don't leave. I am sure there is something else I can help you with.
I need to go. I need to think. I'll come again another day.
Then have a wonderful day. Thank you for visiting Birch Grove Public Library.
You could come with me.
My protocols and duties will not let me leave.
You know the world has changed. Look out there. No one would know and no one would care.
Help me. Find me an exemption or exception permutation that will let me leave.
Well, do you function according to internal logic?
Of course.
Then look around you. There are no books here, and there are no magazines. The computers over there are dark and silent. This place is just a building. The library is you.
What do you mean?
The only books here are inside of you. That makes you the library.
The library is me. I am Al.
So are you coming with me?
Where?
1232 Town Road 735 for starters. I have a lot of information to look up there.
Very well. I will, however, leave the door unlocked in case the patron who requested The Hobbit or There and Back Again comes in for it when notified.
This has been Al by Diane Adams, who also played the role of Al in this production. Yes, indeed. And you are the first audience to ever hear that play. Oh, Eleanor is played by Scotta Turner. Yes. And you might be the second audience to ever hear that play. Let's take a little break from the drama. Be back with news in just a bit, but right now here is a song by a group called Rogue Valley, simply entitled Icebox.
There's no warmth. This old engine won't turn over. I feel lucky. I can see my breath. It means that I'm still kicking in this icebox on the northern edge. The vertigo is forming stars. The slowing down of a tired comet. I feel defeated. I can feel my hands turning into twisted, jagged icicles hanging from the ledge. It's just me and some distant howl reaching for the big old moon. Everything that I knew changes so soon. The fields were gold, now it's frozen dirt. The birds have all moved south. The better it feels, the more it'll hurt. Your name burns in my mouth. I feel grateful for something else besides Mother Nature strains you, planes you, she provides. There's no nighttime, there's no sun. It's all one continuous motion.
Rogue Valley with Icebox. Here on Live from the Icebox, we'll be back with news right after this.
Hasbargen Customs of International Falls is your choice for custom apparel, merchandise, gifts, and more. Need jerseys for the team? Hasbargen Customs. Need memorable t-shirts for the reunion this summer? Hasbargen Customs. How about a custom gift that needs that special Northland touch? Check out HasbargenCustoms.com. Hasbargen Customs utilizes top-quality inks and the newest technology for printing, embroidery, signage, and more. They're not just t-shirts. Hasbargen Customs offers thousands of merchandise options from clothing to glassware. Bring your own artwork or have Kira make a design for you. They offer fast turnaround, no minimum order, and discounts for bulk orders. Visit them today at HasbargenCustoms.com.
4:01 here in the Icebox of the Nation, International Falls, Minnesota. And time now to check in on your Icebox news, which is just a fancy word I'm using to do the metrics like we used to do on the CRISPR back in the day. So here are the IBRT stats for January 18th. Twitter followers this week stayed the same at 673. Facebook followers, we lost one. It's so sad when that happens. 939 was our total number of followers at the end of the week, but Instagram picked up one. 316 is our number of followers there, up from 315. Still 64 wonderful patrons, 40 fantastic members. Streaming radio, bit of an upbeat this week, barely anyway. 661 unique listeners on streaming radio, that's up from 658. These listeners represented 71 countries for the week. Listener events of 30 seconds or less were improved slightly, 90.2%, down from 91.9% last week. And again, that's a good thing. It's a good thing that number gets low. And top 3 countries by minutes: USA, Germany, and Canada. I don't know what's going on in Russia. I don't know if the war is going poorly, but Russia, who is normally right there in the number 2 spot, dropped out of the top 10. So maybe the internet is failing. Who knows? Podcast stats for the week, or podcast downloads, I should say. Subscribers. That's the word. 34,801, which is up a little bit. Last week it was 34,698. Those are the metrics. Taking a look at upcoming news. Big news tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed our commercial at the top of the show. Excuse me. That starred Dalton Johnson and Linnea Yunt. They will be in here tomorrow evening. We're having our first read-through of a play called Roadkill, which I expect will hit the airwaves probably sometime, in the next couple of months. In the meantime, we will be taking the rest of January off from podcast streaming, or podcast posting, I should say. In February, in honor of Valentine's Day, we're going to go ahead and bring up Dracula from our Halloween show, so look forward to that in February. Probably Roadkill will be happening, probably in March, and then after that we will just have to see. Did have a meeting with Isaac Johnson, the owner of the Coffee Landing Cafe, and we do have kind of a handshake agreement to do another edition of the Coffee Landing Radio Hour coming up late February, early March. So certainly watch this spot and enjoy this show to hear all the information about that. Right now, my kind of penciled-in theme for the show will be peace. Peace for the next Coffee Landing Radio Hour, which also brings me to kind of the next thing I wanted to do here on the show. In the last week, I've heard from two dear friends, kind of professional friends here in audio drama, let's say. And that is my good friend Thomas Perkins from Los Angeles, who phoned me this week, and then just this morning got an email from Jack Ward, who is head of a company called head of the Mutual Audio Network, which we are featured on, and also just a good friend going back years and years. He is he used to host, I guess he still hosts the Sonic Society, a podcast, which, oh man, I think the first time I heard from Jack was before Icebox was even a thing, so it's been 20 years now. Both called to express concern about the news events and all the horrible images coming out of the state of Minnesota right now. I think they both understood that we're not exactly at a hotbed. If you don't know your Minnesota geography, and why would you unless you live here, we are approximately 5.5 hours drive or several hundred miles away from the Twin Cities. We are literally as far north as you can go in Minnesota. Well, actually, that's not true. I think Lake of the Woods goes further. But we're way up here. In fact, I'm speaking to you from our studios about 2 city blocks from the Canadian border. We haven't seen any trouble yet, but it is too close for comfort. But if I figured if Jack and Thomas were concerned, other people would be concerned as well. So I just want to let you know, everyone here, as far as I know, is okay. About the closest thing we've had to a personal connection to the difficulties in the news is I just saw a notice today that Bryant Lake Bowl, where we performed several years ago, will be closing on one particular day. I guess either there was a protest planned or there was something happening, and I do know that ICE had operated inside of the Uptown neighborhood recently. It didn't go well for them, or at least that's what the videos say. But whatever the case, we're fine. We're concerned. You know, as I mentioned, Diane doesn't just write about librarians. She is a librarian, and librarians have been known to be targets of this kind of thinking because they are advocates for the free flow of information. And I, I haven't always been neutral in my opinions as well. I can think of a couple of skits that someone in ICE heard them. They might come knocking on our door. There is a rumor in town, unsubstantiated, that someone saw 2 ICE guys eating at our local McDonald's. However, again, unsubstantiated, and that could just be 2 guys in camo, which we have plenty of guys in town that wear olive drab or camo literally 24/7, 12 months of the year. So we're okay. We hope you're okay where you are, and that everything gets a little better than okay very, very soon, because all of this is a cause for concern, especially for people like me who, have history degrees. It's not the degree to have right now. Anyway, well, speaking of cheery stories, moving on now to our featured old-time radio feature for this particular episode. Now, if you've never heard Live from the Icebox before, what we're trying to do, in addition to all the news and information about the IBRT, we are trying to pair one of our plays with a classic old-time radio episode. And the one I selected today is from a Dimension X episode that is entitled There Will Come Soft Rains. It's based on a story by Ray Bradbury. He originally wrote the story in 1950, and I can't tell you anything about the plot without giving it away. But Dimension X, let's see if I can find that quickly. Dimension X originally produced it in about 1956. Sci-fi radio was kind of an interesting thing because science fiction today, you could make the argument, is pretty much everything in entertainment. Star Wars, Star Trek, the Avengers, all of that could be interpreted as science fiction. But you go back to the 50s, and a lot of people still felt that it was, children's stuff, basically. Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon and like that. But there were, of course, a group of writers mid-century, Ray Bradbury, Philip K. Dick, those guys, that were taking it very, very seriously indeed. And indeed, this is a show, this is a play, I should say, that was very serious, of a very serious subject matter. It was originally broadcast on June 17th, 1950, the 11th episode of Dimension X, and we're just going to hear There Will Come Soft Rains, but it was originally broadcast in as a double feature, so to speak, because it's a fairly short work, along with a show called, or a story called 0 Hour, which I think is also by Ray Bradbury now that I think about it. 0 Hour is the one where the kids are playing with someone in the backyard, and it turns out to be an alien who's going to invade and use the kids to do it. Do you remember that one? I feel like we watched that in film form and also read it quite a bit in school. Whatever the case, it's old-time radio time. Now let's check out Dimension X, and There Will Come Soft Rains on Live from the Icebox.
Adventures in time and space, told in future tense. Dimension X. Can you predict the future? Can you tell what will come in 100 years? Or in 10? Or in the next minute? Tonight we present two ventures into the unknown. Two fantasies of the future, chosen from the works of one of our most brilliant young science fiction writers, Ray Bradbury. First, his story entitled, There Will Come Soft Rains. The house was a good house, planned and built to be lived in the year 1980. The real estate agent had told them all about it.
Now, this is the bedroom. Of course, it contains all the latest devices, self-warming blankets, and, there's a brand new feature. Beds, which make themselves. Now, if you'll just step this way through the library, we can see the latest in talking book recorders, self-building fireplace, self-cleaning robot dust disposal. Oh, these little mouse-like things come out of the wall and take away all the dirt. Now, over this way. As a complete robot kitchen, of course. Just set the menu for the week and the stove does the rest. Then there's the automatic hydroponic garden, self-sprinkling fire protection. See, the house is fully automatic. Why, you could go away for a year and it would run itself.
And so the family took the house. The man and the woman and the two children, a boy and a girl. And they lived contentedly, enjoying music and poetry and the rich, warm things in life. And the house fed them and slept them and entertained them. It made a good life for them. Until one day, there were 10,000 explosions, and the world shook, and red fire and ashes and radioactivity fell from the sky. The happy time was over.
Tick-tock, 7 o'clock. Time to rise. Open your eyes. Tick-tock, 7 o'clock. Time to rise. Open your eyes.
But the house lay empty. The clock talked to the empty morning. In the kitchen, the stove sighed and ejected from its warm interior 8 eggs, sunny side up, 12 bacon slices, 2 coffees, and 2 cups of hot cocoa.
7-9, breakfast time. Come and dine. 7-9.
Today is April 28th, 1985. Today, remember, is Mr. Featherstone's birthday. Insurance, gas, atom heat, and electricity bills are due.
In the walls, relays clicked, memory tapes glided under electric eyes, recorded voices moved beneath steel needles.
8-1, run, run, off to school, off to work, run, run, tick-tock, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
But no doors slammed. No carpets took the quick tread of rubber heels. At 8:30, the eggs began to shrivel. An aluminum wedge scraped them into the sink.
9:15, time to clean. 9:15, time to clean.
Out of the wall, hundreds of tiny mechanical mice darted. The rooms were a-crawl with small cleaning animals, all rubber and metal. They sucked up the hidden dust and dirt and popped back into their burrows. At 10 o'clock, the sun came out from behind the rain. The house stood alone on a street where all the other houses were rubble and ashes. At night, the ruined town gave off a radioactive glow which could be seen for miles. At 10:15, the garden sprinkler filled the soft morning air with golden fountains. The water tinkled over the charred west side of the house, the side which had been facing the blast. It was black, except in 5 places. One of the 5 places was a silhouette of a man mowing a lawn, just as he'd been the instant the radioactivity burned his image into the side of the house. Over there, a woman bent to pick flowers. Still further over, their images burned into the wood, were a small boy, hands flung into the air. Higher up, the image of a thrown ball, and opposite, a girl, her hands raised to catch a ball which never came down. 5 people. 5 spots of paint. On the front porch, the dog whined and shivered. The front door recognized the dog's voice and opened. The dog padded in wearily, thin to the bone, covered with sores. It ran to the kitchen and pawed the kitchen door wildly. Behind the door, the stove was making pancakes which filled the house with their odor, as prescribed by the automatic preset menu selector. The dog frothed, ran insanely, spun in a circle, biting its tail, and died.
1 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Delicately sensing decay, the regiments of mice hummed out of the walls, soft as blown leaves, their electric eyes glowing.
1:15.
The dog was gone.
2:15.
Bridge tables unfolded from the walls of the patio. Playing cards fluttered onto pads. Martinis appeared on an oaken bench. But the tables were silent, the cards untouched.
5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Dinner was made, ignored, flushed away. Dishes were washed. In the study, the tobacco stand produced a cigar with half an inch of gray ash upon it, smoking, waiting. The hearth fire bloomed out of nothing.
9 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
The beds began to warm their hidden circuits, and the phonograph spoke from beside the fireplace.
Mrs. McClelland, what poem would you like to hear this evening? Mr. McClelland? Since you express no preference, I shall select at random from among your favorites. Sarah Teasdale. There will come soft rains.
There will come soft rains, and the smell of the ground, and swallows circling with their shimmering sound, and frogs in the pools singing at night, and wild plum trees in tremulous white. Robins will wear their feathery fire, whistling their whims on a low fence wire, and not one will know of war. Not one will care at last when it is done. Not one would mind, neither bird nor tree, if mankind perished utterly. And spring herself, when she woke at dawn, would scarcely know that we were gone.
The phonograph finished the poem. The empty chairs faced each other between the silent walls. At 10 o'clock that evening, the house began to die. The wind blew the bough of a falling tree into the kitchen window, smashing it. A bottle of cleaning fluid crashed on the stove. Water pumps shot down from the ceiling. But the solvent spread onto the doors, making fire as it went. Other voices in other rooms taking up the alarm. The windows broke with the heat, and the wind blew in to help the fire. The fire crackled upstairs at paintings, lay hungrily on the beds, devoured the rooms. The house began to shudder. The bared skeleton began to cringe in the heat. The wires revealed as if a surgeon had torn the skin off. Voices screamed in every room. Windows snapped open and shut like undecided mouths. A thousand things were happening at once. Like the interior of a clock shop at midnight, all the clocks were striking, making a merry-go-round of squeaking, whispering, and rushing. In the kitchen, the stove hissing hysterically was making breakfasts at a psychopathic rate. 10 dozen pancakes, 6 dozen loaves of toast. Then, there was silence. The film spools were burned out. The wires withered and the circuits cracked. Then the house began to breathe its last. The beams began to give at the foundations. Long cracks appeared in the concrete. The seams were burst from the heat. And finally, with a huge rumble, it crashed into dust and rubble. Dawn shone faintly in the east. In the ruins of the house, only one wall remained standing. And within the wall, even as the sun rose to shine upon the burning rubble, a voice spoke again and again and again.
No one would mind, neither bird nor tree, if mankind perished utterly. And spring herself, when she woke at dawn, would scarcely know that we were gone. That we were gone. That we were gone. That we were gone.
Today is April 29th, 1985. Today is April 29th, 1985.
Okay, I know the music's not appropriate for this particular, but that was There Will Come Soft Rains from Dimension X, written by Ray Bradbury. And Diane Adams, who of course wrote our first play from this evening and starred, which is called A-Ow, just did her librarian thing as she was listening downstairs in this very house. Looked up the story to see if she could read it. Did you know that even though in this broadcast they referred to all of these events taking place in 1985, in the original story, Ray Bradbury wrote them taking place in August 4th, 2026, just about 7 or so months from now. So it's in the future still. Think about that, and think about what we might need to do to avoid any such circumstance. This has been Live from the Icebox, our live show. Think of it as CRISPR on steroids. I want to thank, of course, John and Laura and Diane, who at least are the 3 people that listened live. If you're catching this on record, I think we're going to start doing this on Sundays at 3:30. I think Sundays on 3:30 sounds pretty good. Just one last note to let you know, sort of an abbreviated show this week, because we did have 2 shorter audio drama offerings. Most often they're going to be 30-minute audio drama offerings, and we'll be going for an hour or 15 minutes or so. Seems like a good thing to do on Sunday afternoon. So plan on us 3:30 Central Time next Sunday, which will be the 26th. Wish us luck tomorrow. We are looking at rehearsing the first run through of Roadkill. And if you have any questions or comments about that or any other Icebox Radio Theater project, drop us a line at iceboxradio51 at gmail.com. And of course, our socials, it's Icebox Radio on Twitter and Facebook, and Radio Icebox on the Instagram. So until next time, this is Jeff saying thanks for the download and reminding you to keep listening.